Okay, now we're going to look at what's called the Emacs Editor. So this is a well-known editor in programming circles. And the nice thing about this potentially is that it is a graphical program. So be sure that you have your X forwarding set up or configured properly via the other jolts where we went over that. So I go to Jolt's Linux text editor, so I have a little bit of sample code so you can play around with how the editor works with real Python code. So I start this command with Emacs, and then I can go ahead and specify the name of the file. So we're going to use this Python file here with the py extension. And I go ahead and start that up. Now you should have a Emacs window on your screen that looks something like this. And here we have our Python code, which computes pi using Archimedes method, just as some sample code. Don't really need to know how it works at this point. But one thing you'll notice is that it is kind of colored with different purples and reds and blues and stuff because it is a editor designed for programming. It's aware of the Python language. It does context-specific coloring to help you identify various aspects of your code. And nice thing it is that it is graphical, so you can just use your mouse and move around. If you want to enter a line of text here, you just kind of put your mouse there, pretty similar to what you're used to, maybe using Microsoft Word or something like that. You can scroll up and down, and at any given time, it will tell you what line number you're on here. So that's useful if you need to get to a particular line or know what line you're on. And there's all the kind of different, usual things about closing and opening files, saving them, etc. So for example, if I want to save this file, I would use the little button here. There's also some Python-specific things in Emacs that are enabled because it looks at the type of file we have open right now. So for example, I can do some things, maybe comment out a block of code or something like that. My experience is that a lot of times these things just get in the way because they typically have to be configured to your personal preferences and whatnot, but some people like them. The other disadvantage of this is that depending on the speed of your internet connection, it may take 5, 10, 15 seconds or more for Emacs to actually start up. And then, pressing each button may take a few seconds. If you're on the campus wired network, usually works pretty well. If you're on the campus wireless network, it's going to depend on the strength of signal and how many other people are using that access point. If you're off campus, it can wildly vary, how responsive it's going to be. So, very common editor. But remotely displaying graphics can sometimes be painful depending on the speed of your internet connection.